myself, I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, evening, and afternoon, everybody. Depends on where you are. And hello, Anthony Caruso! Glad to have you with us right now. Today is another edition of the Auditing Insanity Watch Party, and thank you all for being here. I do realize that Chili has put up a big banner on YouTube, or at least a big announcement coming tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern. We'll be covering that tomorrow. It does not look like it's settlement talks yet. There's nothing on the LVMPD versus DeCastro court listener page. I know that Merb is big on saying that they may be settling, but we'll get into that in our first story. But yeah, there's nothing there as of yet. I'm expecting Chili's announcement to be something product related or something stupid, because that's what it normally is. He typically will sometimes, I remember the ones from last year where he'll milk it, then change the day, then milk it, and then it was nothing of any importance whatsoever. Remember the thing which was telling everybody to use wide-angle video to record your interactions with the police officers. Yeah, he did that one for a few days, and it was nothing. It was pretty much just a bust. Hello, Kova. Welcome. We're going to dive into the first story, which is, of course, Denver Metro Audits taking the day yesterday. Denver Metro Audits wins Sunday with $5 take. $5. That's it. $5 to Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova by a single donor gave him the GoFundMe win for Sunday to give him an overall win for the Friday to Sunday period with an outstanding win. Cordova's win put him at $130 in new funding for the month, hot on the heels of him announcing that he'll soon be filing a lawsuit against Sheridan, Colorado police, as charges against him shining a flashlight at a Sheridan police vehicle have been dropped. The charges stem from an incident last spring where Cordova was driving around with Christopher Directy Ruff and Freedom Jim. Ruff used the flashlight to illuminate the police vehicle as the trio passed it in Cordova's vehicle multiple times, resulting in the pullover. Cordova made the decision to take the blame for the incident, as Ruff had an outstanding warrant from Arizona and may have been brought in on the charge had he been cited for the incident. Cordova documented his treatment at the hands of the Sheridan police and later threatened a lawsuit. In his latest videos, Cordova said he was expecting a settlement from the city of Sheridan for $100,000 for wrongful arrest and his mistreatment at the hands of Sheridan police officers. In more settlement news, YouTuber Merb returned to his channel after a short break to take on the recent ruling on the motion for summary judgment in the ongoing lawsuit where Jose Chile de Castro is suing the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. Merb said that he hated to disappoint the De Castro haters, but he claimed that since the lawsuit survived the motion for summary judgment, it was more than likely that the LVMPD would opt to settle the case and give De Castro a payout to make it go away rather than continue with the case. The YouTuber said he expected a settlement of around $15,000, as De Castro couldn't prove the remaining claims, but it would be more financially beneficial to the LVMPD to settle without admitting fault than to continue to fund the case. Settlement talks have not been on the table in the lawsuit, and the LVMPD has until early next month to file a second motion for summary judgment to address issues brought by the initial motion. On that note, if you'd like to assure that Denver Metro Audits never, ever, 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 ever again takes the day with such a paltry amount, we'd be remiss if we didn't remind you that you can continue to force the college dropout and known cryptid Jim Finch to keep writing this dreadful column each day by contributing to the GoFundMe run by this very channel. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on reallycoolsite.org. And if I unmute myself, hello, Rose. How you doing? Yeah. So where was I? Yes. I think the $15,000 settlement amount that Merv is throwing around is a little low for all of that. For this whole year and a half of going back and forth, and it sure as hell isn't going to pay for Michael Mee's fees unless he's awarded attorney's fees for this. Basically, and I shouldn't be muted. I should be talking right now. Please give me a 5x5 if you can actually hear me. Anywho, we're gonna go to the next story if I am unmuted and you're not giving me a 5x5. Okay, so anyway, the 15 grand isn't even gonna make a dent in all his other legal work that he needs, that he's paying for. I mean, it sure as hell won't pay for his new lawyer in the DeCastro versus Kate Peter case. And, yeah, he needs at least 100 grand to get back on his feet. It's just kind of silly. Also, the big announcement, like I said, it's probably something stupid. It's DeCastro. It wouldn't be the settlement, so it would be something product related, or maybe his team DLZ is going live finally. Not sure. And if that's a pay service, forget it. No one's going to pay for that. Speaking of stupid and speaking of suing, let's get to Jeremiah Payne, everybody's favorite. Payne announces Clarksville lawsuit. Jeremiah Payne posted a new video to his YouTube channel claiming that a lawsuit has been filed, waiting on a court date update will come as they are available, from an incident that apparently happened last year outside of a McDonald's in Clarksville, Tennessee. Payne, wife Samantha, and their then 5-year-old daughter were protesting on a sidewalk near a busy intersection in Clarksville when they were approached by a Clarksville police officer who said he was just following up on a welfare check request on Payne's daughter, as a motorist saw her running in the grass without a parent around. The officer asked the trio to move off the sidewalk, as staying stationary on a sidewalk was a code violation, as it was considered blocking the sidewalk. Samantha Payne initially agreed to move their wagon and belongings off the sidewalk and onto the grass, explaining that she thought they would have gotten in trouble from McDonald's for sitting in the grass. As Samantha was complying, the officer said that it was just a warning, and he wasn't going to issue a citation for blocking the sidewalk. Jeremiah mumbled under his breath that it was a double sidewalk, and no one had any problems getting around them. The officer questioned what Jeremiah said. Jeremiah repeated it loudly, and the officer asked for Payne to identify himself. The usual situation with Payne then played out, with the officer and Payne exchanging words, Payne refusing to show ID, Payne threatening that the video will go viral, the officer explaining that if he needs to arrest Payne, he'll have to call Child Protection Services, and Payne demanding a sergeant on scene. New to the script was the officer, now backed by several more officers, including one who used a PA system to say, "Be sure to like, share, and subscribe," as he apparently recognized Payne, claiming that Payne didn't have the First Amendment right to ask for a sergeant, as his sergeant appeared on scene. Dismissing his officers, the sergeant politely talked through the situation with the Paynes and said that he was not going to issue Payne a citation for what happened. Payne clearly embellished his side of the story, as the sergeant took his information for the complaint Payne was attempting to file, and the situation ended with the two men shaking hands and briefly discussing Clarksville's pending Riverfest event. As the Riverfest event was retired in 2023 and is no longer being held, along with Payne referring to his daughter as 5 years old, the video is clearly from 2023. Payne did not indicate where the lawsuit had been filed, what he is suing for, or what outcome he is seeking as of press time. Okay, first, thank you to Dave for the $10 super chat. Big chunk of whatever he wins will go to the lawyers, 30%. And that's right. That's the same stuff that Cordova was bitching about when he was threatening his life, or when he was threatening his lawsuit. He didn't want to get a lawyer, but realized he needs to, and he can't find one. So, yeah. 30% is always going to go to a lawyer. And hello, Facebook Karen, or should we call you Teresa? That's right, folks. We outed her as someone named Teresa, and not my sister. Totally not my sister. So, yeah, that happened on our Drunk Karen Theater earlier today. So the mysterious identity of Karen or Teresa is still out there. Anywho, with Jeremiah Payne, there's been updates over the past year. They seem to be staying in a long time, or one of those hotels which double as apartments where you can stay for a while. They got kicked out of one earlier this year. It looks like they're in another one. The kid's got her own room now and has a ton of toys. It's a mess. He recently put up a video showing a tour of the apartment, so they're not technically homeless anymore. He's got some sort of job, and they're no longer doing what they were doing this time last year, which was basically standing on street corners and holding up signs saying defund the police. So, yeah. Parsons, maybe too. I can only get my sister to watch on Facebook. If it's Teresa, not Teresa. And my sister goes by Risa anyway. Anywho, one or two. Everybody, one or two. Put it in side chat. One or two, because we've got 2 articles left. And you've got about 30 seconds before I pick. One or two. One or two side chat, please. Parsons says 3. Okay, then. Gothic Sparrow is 2. Mrs. Tom is 2. Touche is 2. Hello, Touche. Dave is 2. Cove is 2. So everybody wants the Eli story. Yay! My name's Bear Britton Audits as mastermind behind assault. YouTuber Eli briefly addressed his physical assault by fellow YouTuber Easy Cameras On during a live stream Sunday night while naming Bear Britton Audits as the mastermind behind the attack on a Monday video released to his channel. On the Sunday night live stream, Eli walked the block in front of his house, pausing to touch his own bloodstains at the point where he was attacked by Easy on Friday night. He showed off scrapes on his knees and knuckles and said that he had a shallow stab wound in his chest, but that he was not meant to die on Friday the 13th. Eli said that he had evidence that Easy was paid off by someone but wouldn't identify that person more than the initials of BBA. His side chat named BBA as Bear Britton Audits, a United Kingdom-based auditor who has been at odds with Eli for some time and had been banned from the People's Podcast TV, which has an association with Eli. Inviting Easy back for a round 2, Eli said that BBA should pay him more next time to take him out, and that Easy was stupid, as he and his friend live-streamed the assault, and that police were now looking for both of them. There was some random talk of Eli's friends looking for Easy, and that Easy should be watching his back as revenge was apparently coming. On Monday's produced video, Bear Britton Audit's appearance on the People's Podcast TV was featured. Bear Britton Audit said that Eli needed to watch his back and that Eli would soon have a second injury to his eye to match a previous eye injury. Bear Britton Audits then clearly said that he hired Easy Cameras On to assault Alexander McQueen, the name of the account that was moderating the People's Podcast TV. He said that he had paid Easy to camp outside of McQueen's house until he could assault the YouTuber. Bear Britton's Audits was later banned from appearing on the People's Podcast TV channel. Easy and Eli engaged in what some are calling mutual assault, as Easy was screaming outside of Eli's house on Friday night, and Eli chose to engage Easy in a physical battle instead of calling the police to handle the situation. Eli said it was his own stupidity to let Easy up when he had battered him to the ground in a ground and pound and was worried about Easy's breathing. As Eli released Easy, Easy pulled a knife and stabbed Eli several times, essentially leaving him for dead after Eli's wife pulled him back and Easy's friend, who was filming the incident, told him to leave. The battle played out on competing YouTube streams Friday night, and Eli was taken to the hospital to treat his wounds, before checking himself out of the hospital when hospital staff would not let him live stream from the facility. Just to correct sidetrack, the Apple Thief and the Pier, that one is actually Brooklyn Audits Gonzo. Sometimes Brooklyn Audits, he changes his name quite a bit. But that guy's actually, I believe he's a white guy. So he's a white guy from Brooklyn. So that's a different guy. Like you pointed out inside chat, there's tons of them. Well, I am being assaulted by Olive right now, who is trying to kill me. So, say hi to Olive, everyone. My little cat and protector, who likes to stab me in the middle of live streams. Yeah, Eli may be in some trouble here. New York does not have stand your ground laws. In fact, if you are outside of your home, you are required to retreat from danger. You can only attack back with lethal force if there's no means of escape. Eli was about half a block from his house when he engaged this guy. They were fighting in the street, basically. Eli chose to do this. He did not retreat. He actually went out and had his wife filming him fighting with this guy. He made the conscious decision, and that's probably why he's not cooperating with police. He could be in some trouble. I'm not sure what the standards are in New York. The other guy's a complete idiot because the other guy live streamed the whole thing. And, had his buddy live stream it when he said he was going to actually attempt to kill Eli. So, yeah, this is just beyond stupid. If you got a problem with somebody, don't go to their house. Work it out. Work it out. Don't show up at their doorstep and confront them. This is just an example of it going horribly wrong with two very stupid people ending up assaulting each other. So, speaking of somewhat stupid, let's go to the final one. I can't get around it, can I? But it's an update to the one we covered yesterday with Mr. Direct D. Direct D YouTube livestream ability restored. Fans of YouTuber Christopher Direct D Ruff rejoiced early Monday morning as the YouTuber regained the right to livestream on the service following a brief suspension from live streaming this weekend, first showing a replica BB gun on camera and being flagged by YouTube system for displaying an actual weapon. The incident happened late Saturday night as Ruff had streamed on both his main channel and a private secondary channel. The stream was apparently halted and Ruff received a notice that his ability to stream was suspended, but it was not a content warning or a content strike. Ruff contacted YouTube customer service directly and via Twitter and received various conflicting automated answers that YouTube had made a final ruling about pulling his streams and that they were also investigating the cause of Ruff's ban from the live streaming. At question is Ruff's display of a replica BB gun, which is designed to look like a real handgun. YouTube's AI bots apparently did not review Ruff's explanation that it was not a real weapon to take the display into context, despite what it looked like, and banned him from live streaming for an indefinite period. YouTube's firearm policies were revised in June of 2024 and seem to concern the selling or production of firearms. Though, in the example of what is not permitted on the service, it states, live streams that feature someone holding or handling a firearm, regardless of whether or not they are firing it. Note, this does not include firearms in video games. For penalties for violating their guidelines, it states, if this is your first time violating our community guidelines, you'll likely get a warning with no penalty to your channel. You will have the chance to take a policy training to allow the warning to expire after 90 days. The 90-day period starts from when the training is completed, not when the warning is issued. However, if the same policy is violated within a 90-day window, the warning will not expire and your channel will be given a strike. If you violate a different policy after completing the training, you will get another warning. BB guns are not mentioned in the guidelines, but a case could be made for a replica BB gun that resembles a real firearm to be a violation of set policy. Ruff did not specify that he received clarification from YouTube as of press time. The YouTuber set his most recent live stream where he addressed the controversy to members-only status. So yeah, he was waving around a BB gun that looked like a real gun. I don't know how a bot would tell the difference, even though he said on the stream that this isn't a real gun. The policy pretty much says if you're holding or waving around a gun, you lose the ability or you get a content strike or warning or whatever. So, I mean, he's got merit to appeal that it wasn't a real gun, but how would anyone know? If you're tuning in and you don't hear him say it's a BB gun, how would you know? It's someone waving around a gun on YouTube, and that's a violation of policy. He's also very concerned because he is a convicted felon, he cannot own a real weapon, and he can get in trouble if people, especially his parole officer, starts to think that, yeah, you're carrying around a weapon, a real one, and not the BB guns. So we'll see how this plays out. He's already wanted on warrants in Arizona. I don't know if this is going to cause him any trouble. I don't think anyone's monitoring his YouTube at this point. But yeah, this could be bad for him. And on that note, that's what we have for tonight. We'll be monitoring the Chile de Castro situation. I know he had a live stream earlier. I'll be watching that on 2x speed in a few minutes after this wraps up. We also have a produced version of this going live at 7:30 p.m. tonight, so you can watch the newscast as a newscast while you're sitting at work or in your car or whatever. And also, remember, tomorrow we'll be back with this at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. where it counts, 4:30 p.m. Mountain, and 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Then tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, we have an all-star panel where we'll be doing Drunk Gurl yet again, Drunk Gurl videos, and we'll be seeking a wife/mistress/one-night stand for our newest cast member, that's NCR News Network, who has joined our cast. So, big thumbs up to NCR. He's been a real big help, especially behind the scenes lately. So, yes, Parsons, no panel tonight. We had a panel earlier for Drunk Gurl Theater, which is still available on the channel if you want to take a look at it. We revealed plenty of people's real names today, including that Becca was born as Toots. Toots. That's her real name. Spread the word. Spread the word. And Facebook Karen is really Teresa. Teresa. That's it. Spread the word, please, and thank you. And on that note, we are out of here. I will talk to you all tomorrow. And yes, you can super chat to make me stop singing along.